Hello everyone, this is PC Death here, and welcome back to another episode of Higurashi. Last we left off, of course, we picked up Sachushi's bat and noticed that there was a resemblance between what we're doing and what Sachushi's doing. And now Rena's starting to scare our character. Yay! Let's keep going here. That gaze that pierced like a cold needle. The smile on her face that invoked an image of having been carved out by a knife. Chills went down my spine, my mind froze under a layer of rime. Both of Rena's eyes pierced through mine, leaving me unable to look away. School must still be up. As if to remind me of the fear from that time before, Rena brought her face close to mine, so close I could feel her breath. Her face had filled my entire vision of filled my entire field of vision. God damn it! Then her sharply shaped lips grew even sharper, like the curve of a crescent moon. She grinned. I told you, Kiichi. After a short pause, Rena repeated the same words again. Satoshi, you see, transferred out. Transferred meaning what? But Rena must have been some new definition of transfer that I was previously not aware of. My throat and lips dried up. I couldn't even acknowledge that I had just heard. All I could do was swallow down my own saliva. It would seem Rena saw that as a nod. She pulled her gaze back and separately stepped back 2 or 3 paces. As she did, my legs gave out and I fell to my knees pathetically. Rena and me on my knees underneath her motionless smile. That had to be a very odd sight indeed. Seeming in a pathetic state, she neither scolded me nor held out her hand. But I could neither stand nor escape with her gaze shooting through my eyes. There was undoubtedly a metal bat in my hand, but right now it was useless to me. I was like a fly caught in her web. You went from dark souls to... Never mind. Heavy sweat beaded all over my body. I could feel it dripping from my skin. But you won't, will you, Keiichi? Rena finally released me from that cage of time after what felt like an eternity. But her question was missing something important. It was incredibly vague. Once again, I swallowed hard, urging her on. Do what? What did she not want me to do? Transfer. Oh shit. Evil Rena. Evil Rena. Oh yay, we are at the end of that chapter. What? Wow, not used to that part. Or go straight to another part. Used to know my tips. Such a head. What? All my well-planned actions throughout the day turned out to have been nothing more than a reenactment of what Satoshi had done. Satoshi, had he really been in the same situation as I was now? The friends he had gone along with had changed suddenly, for no reason at least none that I had noticed, planned to kill him. In fearing for his life as I am, he got a bat to protect himself and carried it around every day to practice his swing. Then one day suddenly he transferred. My body went cold, causing a prickling sensation to course through my veins. Starting near my heart, it radiated outwards from the top of my head. Sorry about that. Top of my head to the soles of my feet, chilling every part of me without recourse. What does she mean by transfer? What does she mean by transfer? Was Satoshi still at wherever he transferred to? Was he the only one who would be able to understand me? Would he be able to tell me why it all ended up like this? More importantly, where did he transfer to? What does she mean by transfer? What does she mean by transfer? Before I knew it, I was at my front door. The refrigerator knob was hard to turn. Was no way home? It wasn't that odd of an occurrence. I reached into my pocket and pulled out a single key attached to my first silk keychain. I stepped into the entryway just as I was about to take off my shoes. A chill ran down my spine. Someone had entered right behind me. Like a classmate missing around, standing right up against my back. You're kidding, right? It had to be my imagination. Logically speaking, it was impossible for someone to be able to hide their presence within My personal space all the way through the door. But there was undoubtedly someone behind me. Hey now, Keiichi. How do you know they're there even though they're behind you? Because I could hear the sound of flowing hair. There's no other reason. I heard that sound. That was the presence. Because I could hear the sound of them blinking. Keiichi, there's no way you could hear that. It was mostly instinct than anything else that was warning me of that presence. Common sense was telling me that it was just my imagination. It was just my imagination. There was nobody behind me. I began to erase the mental image of a eerie figure standing behind me. But at the same time, I would ask myself, if there was nobody, then what was I feeling? As an uncomfortable sensation crawled up my spine. I actually wondered if there was somebody there. If there was nobody, then when you turn around, would you be able to accept that? I'd be able to answer all those questions just by looking behind me. But I didn't have the courage to even do that simple test. Alright, I could try speaking to him. The person right behind me might answer me. It was a random thought. I didn't care how I went about it, just so long as I didn't have to turn around. If I had calmed down and thought about it, I would have known that wouldn't have solved anything. Who is it? I spoke in such a hoarse, broken voice that I couldn't believe it was my own. I could almost feel them contemplating their response. I felt that there's no way I should be able to do that. Calm down, Keiichi, it's all in your head. At the time, I was starting to hurt it. As if hesitantly trying to answer my recording, I was starting to hear the sound of somebody inhaling. I heard it. I heard it clearly. It was a girl. A young girl. I didn't know who, but a tiny speck of courage in me, how reckless it was, inspired the primal yet fitting solution to this current, particularly on the screen. All the force of my body released from my lungs and through my throat, crushing all thought processes in my head. Ceasing all thought processes. God damn it, I can't read. Why? Suppressing all my thoughts and emotions, I began to collapse like a house of cards. Somehow managed to twist my body and look back as I did. It was definitely there. Right there. Somebody was there. But that moment I turned around, brought the area behind me into a field of vision. They were definitely there. Falling face up, my eyes traced the remnants of presence suspended in the empty space. It couldn't be. They were invisible. They looked like they weren't there, but were they actually still standing there? As I screamed, all the emotions I was holding back burst free in a violent wave. However, I was silently calm as my emotional dam collapsed. The tremendous wave of pent-up emotions was skillfully diverted into a turn of aggression. That motion was definitely required to exaggerate myself from the bizarre situation happening right in front of me. In my state of heightened lucidity, I trusted my body in a fury. The metal bat held firm in the right hand as if drawn there by a magnet. A mid-level state would be the hardest attack to dodge. I remember reading something like that from a book about swordsmanship or something. I brandished my will to fight. That after the image of that augmentation of metal flashes, it swung from left to right, beating against the entryway. The bat slammed into the right wall, the tip rebounding violently. Red calmly transferred its first to rebound to a swing to the left. The door to the shoe cupboard was split in two pieces. Those two swings whiffled through into space, but they seemed to have a great psychological impact on the enemy. I could feel the panic emanating from that space. The attack wasn't the only thing required. I extracted the bat from the cupboard it was embedded in and screamed as I spun my entire body around in a large arc. Ah! Yay. Now we're going insane. My scream shook the air, bringing my furious swing with even more destructive power. Crick! Without mercy, resent my violent strike with certainly fatal force behind it. Shattered the top of the cupboard. None of my attacks struck the enemy, but my ferocity certainly seemed to impact them. Breathing had my entire body soaked in sweat, the invisible evidence there, but not there, dispersed. When I was certain that the enemy had retreated, I locked the front door and latched the chain. No way had it only feigned retreat and was now inside my house. Once again, I channeled my aggression and searched the house for the presence, but it was gone. I succeeded in fending it off. At that moment, the tension drained from my body, and I let out a deep sigh of relief. Yay! No unknown enemy. Holding motion, I've been holding back, chronically merged together and began to fly out. A hug push of fear, accomplishment, and disbelief, all mixed together and flow through my body. Unable to deal with each individual feeling, I beat them all back into the strongest exhaustion. Even in this moment, I remained composed. After checking that all the doors throughout the house were locked, I went up to my room on the second floor and closed the curtains. I strained my back and tilted my head back a little. After clearing my mind of all my idle thoughts, I managed to calm down even more. What was at the front door? There was definitely something there. Thinking about it, maybe it was just an apparition I dreamt up in my confused state, but I really didn't think that was the case. Calm down, Keiichi, my brother. Compose yourself. But no matter how calmly I thought about it, what just happened wasn't a figment of my imagination. It was obviously a supernatural phenomenon, and without a doubt, something was behind me. It wasn't some sort of illusion. I saw a mist of my confusion and disorientation. Poof. I just had one piece. When I asked who it was, they inhaled as if they were about to answer. That sound had clearly reached my ears. The situation I was in right now was still unclear. Either I would be possessed by a supernatural phenomenon, by a supernatural phenomenon known as Urashio's curse, or was it raised by the villagers who believed in it and were imitating it. Either way, their motive was unclear. The roundabout way it had been done was also still a mystery. If it was perpetrated by humans, that wouldn't mean that it was Rena and the rest of them doing it. But it would be solvable. Oishi and the rest of the police would surely arrest my enemy. But if it was a manifestation of Urashio's curse, I wonder what would happen. Oishi very clearly declared that curses don't exist. At that time, those words were pretty dependable, but as things were now, with the rising possibility that the perpetrators were not human, he suddenly seemed quite unreliable. If I told Oishi this was the work of Urashio's curse, what would happen? Couldn't imagine his reaction, but it would go without question that the void would expand rapidly between me and Oishi. With me having so few allies to begin with, not being able to confidently declare whether or not this was a curse or not, there was no merit to doing that. I better to keep the facts of what just happened at the doorway to myself. It would be better if I didn't add what happened here to the memo behind the clock. There was still the ever so slight possibility that I was actually confused when I thought I was composed, and I was just going berserk in the entryway. How wonderful would that be if that was really what happened? I would be able to refute Urashio's curse. But if I denied Urashio's curse, then that would mean that Rena and the rest were the perpetrators. Oh yay. Contradicting ourselves here. If I said that Rena and the rest weren't the perpetrators, that would mean believing in Urashio's curse. By denying both of them, I would be meaning that I myself was losing it. The three options from which I could choose became a trilemma of sorts that mixed together and formed a whirlpool in my mind, making my head spin. Once again, I strained myself and leaned my head back slightly to cool myself down. Calm down, Keiichi. Accept what was actually happening as reality. Stop thinking of anything more than that. But I couldn't help but think of it. How wonderful it would be if it turned out I was delirious and everything up until now was a figment of my imagination. Urashio's curse wouldn't exist and I would still be bestest buddies with Rena and the rest. I would have to be crazy. Yeah, it was the first time in my life I've ever wished for such a thing. I'm making a comment on that. The phone rang noisily downstairs. Generally, there were no calls from me, so I never really answered the phone much. But since my parents weren't here, I had no choice. Squirmed off the bed and went downstairs. Hello, this is the Mara residence. Keiichi, this is Mom. I intentionally had a bad feeling about this. It was because I thought she was going to ask me to go out and buy something. But I took the initiative. What? I don't mind having instant noodles for dinner. There's still a lot of them. The other day we went out as a family and bought a whole case of cup noodles. I wanted to get a bunch of different kinds actually, but they refused since the individual packs were expensive. So instead, I got a whole case of the mega-sized pork bone and ginger flavored ones I liked. Ugh. My parents don't like strong flavors and didn't touch any of them, so the cupboards were still full of them. So you see, there really isn't a need to go shopping, right? Keiichi, I'm not asking you to go shopping. Both Mommy and Daddy have to go to Tokyo right now because of work. So he's by himself. Huh? Right now? This was really abrupt. No, we're already here. We left this afternoon. It's quite a distance to Tokyo from town. Going at full speed down the highway would still take 6 hours. Dad has a license, but since he doesn't like the highway, they likely took the train. It would have taken longer. I'm thinking you might understand since you heard us speaking last night, but it has to do with Daddy's contract. Right now, things aren't going so smoothly. Now that she mentioned it, I did remember that they talked all that time about how the job prospects weren't looking so good. Daddy's real sensitive about things like this, so if we leave things as they are, it will affect his work. Per my father's particular fragile autistic personality, his emotions change as easily as the fall sky. You could also just say he couldn't take criticism. But sometimes, something like that can be done over the phone. Keiichi, this is your father's job, so can you support him a bit, please? Anyway, it's just faster to talk about it in person, so there wouldn't be any misunderstandings. As their son, there was nothing more I could say once they started talking about work. So we'll be back tomorrow night. Keiichi, will you be fine on your own? It's not like I'll die or anything. Keiichi, you shouldn't speak so lightly of dying. If there's something troubling you, just talk to us. I believe mine will be able to help out. Yesterday I did bring up if I die rather abruptly, so I suppose they were a little worried. But really, I was more depressed by the fact that nothing would be solved by telling them. But I didn't plan on dying. At least not while I still knew nothing. I would never allow it. I won't die. I won't. I'll survive even if I then off my leg. Yeah. See you then. Tomorrow morning, make sure to wake up and eat your breakfast. Don't forget to take a bath and brush your teeth. Yeah. See ya. Really? You're calling it like that? Oh yay. Or a protective parent. Sometimes my parents went off to Tokyo for business meetings, but Tokyo was far away. They normally did things by phone. The times they did go were normally planned out in advance. It never happened this suddenly. Couldn't say that those circumstances didn't feel strange or rather unnatural. Anyway, I only needed to reconcile the reality of the situation. For that tonight, I was the only one in the house. That when my parents came back from work, I'd be gone, missing, vanished. Looking back on the series of events of the previous 5 years involving Urashiro's curse, it wouldn't seem that strange at all. Come to think of it, it was getting pretty late. I didn't think it was good that the only light in the whole house was from my room on the second floor. It was the same as broadcasting to me that my parents were gone and this was their chance. First, I ran to the living room, flicked on the lights, and turned the TV onto a reassuring volume. Next was the study. I simply turned on the lights and some music. With this, from the outside, it would look like my parents were here. Once again, I went through the house, checking to see if there was anything left unlocked. When I saw the vendetta and the launder still hanging out there, I went pale. That would have made it too obvious. I needed to take it down. I snatched out a laundry haphazardly and erased all traces that my mother wasn't there. She'd be fine now. The garage. They hadn't gone all the way to Tokyo by car, but they had gone to the Oka station. The garage was empty, wide open, in plain sight. This was not good. I panicked and rushed out to the back to close the normally open garage door. It would be fine now. I need to get the paper. Mom always got the paper, so they left in the afternoon. The evening paper was still out there. Her premonition was correct. I pulled out everything from the mailbox and dropped it in the entryway. With this, for sure this time, it should be fine. Okay, we'll leave that here. When we do come back in the next episode, we're actually going to see if we survive the night or if something does happen. I know what really happens. Anyway, if you're enjoying this, please leave a comment or hit that like button. This is PC Death Gamer, as always. Hope you enjoyed. Keep playing on. See yas.